Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the pod.
Welcome back.
I'm Naomi.
I'm 𝚑𝚘𝚡. And today we're going to be talking about the Annapurna interactive video games. We just found out that they're actually a movie studio or something too. No, had no idea.
What movie was it again?
I forgot.
I forgot. I don't remember either, but it was good, I think, if I remember correctly.
But yeah, Annapurna is basically just the only people releasing like indie games that get a lot of recognition, which is crazy because indie games should be getting a lot more recognition. Like there's a lot of good ones. I'm actually plugged into the space. Naomi is not. Naomi knows nothing. She's stupid. She's dumb.
They produced Her and Vice. They produced so much. Oh my God. Sausage Party.
What? No way Annapurna produces Sausage Party.
No, there's a lot, and they're all really famous movies. They produce Booksmart, Spring Breakers.
Honestly, they have it down though. Like they be producing good stuff.
Yeah, they've done like a bunch of Paul Thomas Anderson movies. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, I'm not an expert on video games whatsoever. I'm ready to admit that. So take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm a little bit of a hater when it comes to certain things.
Yeah, and I think that hater energy leaked over into me a little bit on some of these games. I feel like I might like them better.
Well,
if I wasn't playing with them.
You tried to replay some of them that you didn't
Yeah,
like
I tried to
first.
replace some of them, but they're just tainted. But whatever.
Okay.
Let's talk about them. We're going to be doing spoilers, and that actually matters for Annapurna games because they're heavily like story based and like first experience based. So
the only one that doesn't matter is what's it called?
𝚑𝚘𝚅 Wild Hearts.
No. Well, yeah, that doesn't matter either.
Yeah, you can play that game with spoilers.
What's the one we don't like?
Oh, the Artful Escape.
Yeah, spoiler for that too. We don't like it.
Yeah,
so.
spoiler for this episode. We're spoiling everything right now. But yeah, the 5 games we're going to talk about are Journey, What Remains of Edith Finch, 𝚑𝚅 Wild Hearts, and The Artful Escape, and Stray.
So we don't have all of them, obviously, but I mean,
yeah,
whatever.
But there's like 50 of them,
Yeah.
so no way we're doing all of them. We're just doing like
the more popular
ones and the ones that are more interesting to us.
Yes.
So let's get on with it. I think. Yeah, that's all the introduction I have. First up, Journey.
Just a city boy.
Journey. When did this come out?
Journey came out in 2012. It was originally, I think, produced by Sony and stuff, but then Annapurna got it and did something with it. I don't really know. It's under Annapurna now on their website, so we decided to play it because it's also like a super influential indie game, and it's from 2012, which is like, I think that's like the indie boom. That's when that happened. You don't know anything about that because you're stupid, of course. So this game, for being an earlier title, it's really good. But I mean, nowadays there's better. And let me be honest, I really like this game. I think it's really pretty. And I think it's a good experience, especially if you play it by yourself without a massive hater sitting next to you.
Yeah, I was annoying as fuck when they played this, I'll admit. Also, this art style makes me kind of angry.
Why?
It just reminds me of like corporate art. Like, it's just way too simple silhouettes. I think it works for 𝚑𝚅 Wild Hearts because there's a ton of different colors and stuff, but this one is just a little bland for my taste. And something that matters most to me when I play video games is how it looks.
Yeah.
I'm annoying. Like, I get so angry if a game is ugly to me, and I hate like anything with alpha textures and like just too much texture going on, but I also hate just like way too simple. So I'm just a hater all around, basically.
Yeah, if your game doesn't appeal to Naomi's like very specific taste, she's gonna hate it. Even if it's like the best game ever, she hates it.
Okay, maybe I haven't I don't think I've played a game where the story is like
good.
No, I've played games where their story is good, but I'm saying like I haven't played a game that's really ugly, but the story is good.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think that, what's it called? Journey? I don't think Journey has that much of a crazy story. There's not really any story. You just like kind of...
Let's summarize what Journey actually is for a second.
That.
So basically, you're this little red dude, and you're in a desert, and there's a mountain in the distance, and you're going to go to that mountain. And on your journey That's the title of the game. On your journey, there are other players that like get connected to your game, and you play together for a little bit, and it's really interesting. I mean, for the time, there are other games that have done that since and have kind of like made the concept stale. Like Death Stranding tries to do the same thing. Not as good as this. This is like, I think, really good because of how.
This is high level.
It's good because of how simple the interactions with you and the other player are, but still how much like time you get to spend with each other because you get connected to this person a little bit, and it's fun. But it is. I can't take it seriously though, if
Why?
I'm being completely honest, because
the overarching message.
Yeah, because it's unironically like it's not about the destination; it's about the friends you made along the way.
Not all those who wander are lost.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, yeah, good. It's a good theme. It's a time-tested thing.
Is it?
But oh my God, that phrase has lost all meaning in this day and age, especially if you watch 𝚑𝚘𝚅 Deluxe, 𝚑𝚘𝚅 Plus, 𝚑𝚘𝚅 Gold now.
Stop shouting out.
So I can't, because I love them so much. This is the first time I've gotten a chance to talk about this. I love 𝚑𝚅 Deluxe, but that phrase loses all meaning because it's not about the friends. It's about the journey you made along the way. It's not about the game. It's about the play you played along the way. It's like, the phrase doesn't have meaning anymore. So I can't take this game seriously. I just think about them the entire time.
Okay. What did you think about the actual like mechanics of the game? Like all the stuff like that?
So this is like a very early example, but the mechanics of this game aren't that deep. But it doesn't really matter. Like they're not deep or interesting. There's not like that much to discover about them, but it doesn't matter because of how short the game is. Like you never get time to get really bored of the mechanics. What do you think about them?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like boring, honestly. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I know this is going to offend some people, especially when we get to Edith Finch. Guys, trigger warning. I might hate a little on Edith Finch.
I might also hate a little.
Okay. I have good takes though on Edith Finch. I don't know if I have a good take on this one, but
yeah. Now, speaking of Edith Finch, that's all I really have to say about Journey. I don't think it's that deep.
It's not that deep, guys.
It's really cool. I like the little shiny things, like when the sun bounces off stuff. I think that looks cool.
That's pretty. That's definitely the prettiest thing.
There was some stuff with the camera that Naomi had issues with because she wanted to constantly have control of the camera.
Okay, that too with Edith Finch. So it annoys the shit out of me when it tries to get me to look somewhere. Like, bitch, I'll look at it if you let me. Like, stop. I need to do it by myself.
Yeah,
I hate auto like moving camera.
I've just kind of accepted the fact that games like have an intention to them, and that sometimes I'm stupid and the game knows what is the coolest thing to look at, and I kind of like it because it frames things nicely and it looks cool. So I'm like okay with the game kind of taking that camera away from me a little bit because I know I'm going to get something cool out of it, but Naomi is not at all.
You know what? I'll take it back a little. I think there should just be like an option to turn that off, like in settings, because you know how some games have that. Right?
Yeah. And I think the best way it can be done is by the camera kind of influencing it a little, where it kind of it works its way over there. But
Journey is to an obnoxious extent.
Yeah, but if the player like just says no, don't do that. Like if I'm holding the stick away from that direction, like don't look at it because I don't want to. Like that does annoy me a little bit in some games where it doesn't let you do that, but not really that much because I understand why it's doing it. I think you just hate not having control, I guess.
Maybe I would like your game more.
yeah, maybe you should fix your game. Maybe because your game sucks and it's
you guys please make a patch just for me from your 2011 game.
Yeah, please make a patch to your 10-year-old game, 11-year-old game now, actually. Okay, that's Journey. Now it's time to journey this conversation over to What Remains of Edith Finch, the next game.
What does remain of Edith Finch? A balls game? No, I'm kidding. It's not bad. It's
what
really
remains
not.
of your mom after So, brief summary, What Remains of Edith Finch is a game about a girl who goes back to her childhood home to chronicle what happened to her family so that, spoiler warning, her daughter can know about her family after her mom dies. That's like the big twist of the end of the game, and it's kind of cool when you first see it. But yeah, I hope you played this game if you're listening to this.
The way I would describe this game is that Taylor Swift fans would love it. I've said this so many times. It's so true. It's a very folklore album vibey thing, and also it's like kind of annoying.
I think it's so funny because like the way this game was made, I'm pretty sure it was this dude who was like super into scuba diving, and he wanted to make a game about scuba diving but couldn't make it work. So he just made a game about this instead, and it had like scuba diving sometimes, like with the shark section. Do you remember what I'm talking about? When Molly starts turning into all the
I think that's the first one, right?
Yeah.
Or one of the first.
Yeah. So the way this game's story is told is like Edith Finch, the character you play as, is going through her family's house, and then when she goes into someone's room, it does a flashback to that person and how they died or something. And it's cool because you play as that person, and it has all this cool storytelling stuff in it. So some people say that this is a walking simulator. It's boring and it shouldn't be a game. I disagree with them. I think the choice to make this story like told in a video game format is pretty good. I think it deserves that because the way like you're able to be transported into these characters and play as them is so cool. Especially, I think it's like most cool during Molly's section where you learn about this little girl and she like wants to be all these different things, and to show you like that, I guess, she just jumps out of a window and you're like, what the hell? You're a little child jumping out of a window, but then you just start flying and you're an owl now, and it doesn't have to like show you that or display that. You're just you are flying, you know that. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I don't think the story was like necessarily original, but I am like very glad that it's a video game, because if I read the book, I'd be like, this is boring as shit.
Agreed.
But the main gripe I have with it is just like how different all the animation is, I guess. Is that what it's called?
What do you mean?
Is it called animation?
What are you talking about?
Like, you know, when we go into the different stories, they're just completely different styles, which is cool, but some of them are just like, I didn't like them. And
you didn't like the comic book thing? The comic
book thing was cool. I just wish there was a little bit more cohesion between everything, because it doesn't really make sense. Like, they're all people, you know, and they're in the same universe, so I don't really see why.
I don't think I get what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
Give me an example of what you're talking about.
Like, the fish story was like completely different animation. Like, all of them had completely different animation, is what I'm saying.
The fish story having that was like an intentional choice to show like this imaginary world that this character is having.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't really like it.
Okay.
But the overall animation too, I really liked it in the beginning when like we were in the forest walking around all the plants. I thought that was really pretty. Yeah,
I had that note too. That was like, I think, the best section of the game, like the best looking.
Yeah, the very beginning.
But then it's just like, you never get to go back to that. Like I constantly wanted to go back into the forest because it looked so much better than everything else. Like everything else just has kind of flat textures. Yeah. And like that's the style of it. But I want the forest. Yeah, the forest looked really nice. I loved the animation there. I think they should have continued that through the whole thing. And I really liked all the like set designs, I guess you would call it, even though it's animation. Like all the different sets that they had. But I just wish the animation of it was different. Like all the rooms, how they were put together, all the tiny details in there were really cool. Yeah, I thought this game was really cool. One note that I have, this game was really hyped up to me.
Yeah, overhyped?
Yeah, it was way overhyped, I think, because I am a Jacob Geller viewer, and if any of you have seen Jacob Geller and know stuff about him, you know he talks about this game a lot. And, you know, he likes really good games. He's like super pretentious, all this stuff. So I was thinking going into this game like, oh yeah, this game is obviously a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It's so good. Why else would this guy be talking about it so much? And I was just kind of disappointed because I think the only part that really lives up to his hype was the fish section. I did really like that. Even
I
if
liked
you
the
don't.
cutting part while you were playing at the same time. I thought that was cool because it's like he's in his own world or whatever. I just didn't love the animation in the dream world or whatever.
I thought that part was really cool.
I liked the ending of that part too.
I think so. There were some really cool ideas in this game, but it's not like the best. It's not like
Not groundbreaking.
yeah, it's not really groundbreaking. I think maybe for its time, I guess, because I think it was one of the first like walking simulator
When did
type
it come
games.
out?
2017.
I don't know. I definitely don't think it's groundbreaking.
But I mean, like after this game, there have been a lot more like walking simulator type games where you just play as some character who's going around talking to people, doing things, and like something mildly interesting stuff happens. So I think it's cool for the first of its kind. I think it just doesn't live up to the hype, especially its story. It was kind of disappointing sometimes. It wasn't like groundbreaking or whatever. I don't know. Nice game.
The camera mechanic annoyed me again. Same thing as the last one.
So yeah, this game, pretty
Overhyped,
decent.
but still good.
pretty decent. The next game,
Would recommend for Taylor Swift fans.
yeah, would recommend for Taylor Swift fans. The next game, though, much better than decent. Great, even. The next game, Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Something's changed, and I didn't know you were slipping away.
This is a fire one. This was my first Annapurna game, and I love it. Some people call it a mobile game, which it kind of is, but it's like so much more worthy of being a full game than any mobile game.
So the way I think I describe this game is rhythm tempo run.
Yes.
And you know that makes it seem like a mobile game, but it's like it's not this endless runner type thing. It's just
And it also has a story.
yeah, it has a story. It's really good. It's about this girl getting over a breakup. I think it doesn't really matter that much because it's hype and it's fun.
The music is so good too.
Yeah, there's a ton of music that's blaring as you run through these different like levels, and sometimes you're on a motorcycle, sometimes you're on a dragon, sometimes you're running across rooftops, sometimes you're sword fighting with like these people, sometimes you're shooting wolves. You're doing so much stuff. We're gonna be putting like videos of it over the screen. It's so beautiful. You do so many things, and if I'm being honest, this might be my favorite game like ever.
It's so fun.
It is really good. I think this is a great game for people who don't like play a lot of games.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I feel like single player games don't need to be that hard sometimes. Like it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, like yeah.
It's not fun sometimes.
Yeah,
I get it. Like if you're a super gamer, there's those types of games, but I feel like there's so many games that could be better if they just like were a little bit easier.
I agree. I think there are some games that like push themselves too hard to be a gamer's game. This game does not. This game does exactly what it wants to do, and that's be cool, be hype, be fun. It doesn't matter if you can like beat it in one sitting. It doesn't matter if it's not really that hard because you're having a great time doing it. You're listening to incredible music. You're looking at really cool stuff. You're like flying through these super colorful worlds. It doesn't need to be difficult. It just needs to be fun and engaging, and it is. It's perfect. Another reason that I think it's a really good game for like non-gamers is because of how like grabbing it is and how simple its mechanics are. Like when you look at it, it's beautiful, it's stunning, and you're drawn to it, and it's not this like gamey style. It's not a style that is inherent to video games. It's just a good style.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's super good music, which is another thing that is like appealing for non-gamers because
before
it's
you say the music, I feel like a lot of the time people will be like, it's good for like a game style. So you're definitely right. It feels like it's not like video game. I don't know how to put this. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
it feels like there are no concessions given to this style because it's a video game. It feels like it has a style and it achieves every single goal that it sets out to do. A lot of game styles are like they have to sacrifice a bit of that style for like the medium of a video game. Like realism in video games always has to have sacrifices because it's a video game, but this doesn't. It lives up to everything it wants to be, and it's perfect because of that.
it has a very set style, and I feel like a lot of video games, like you said, they go for realism. You have a video essay coming about that, Sam?
Maybe I do, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Like, the style is just so beautiful, even if you don't play video games, like you said. There's some that are just like so annoying to look at, but like if you don't play video games like me, it's something that like grabs your attention right away.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the controls are just, they're simple, but they're not boring. Like, if you play a lot of games, it's not like you're going to get bored doing this. But if you don't play a lot of games, it's not like you're going to be sitting there struggling for hours trying to understand, like, how to move your character, how to do this and that.
And I think that's what video games should be. Like, there's so much more opportunity to make something interesting than just the mechanics. But I feel like most video games rely solely on those types of mechanics.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about, like, mechanics in video games, because I do think that like complex mechanics and these different like varying systems are cool, even if they're not like approachable for somebody who doesn't play a lot of video games. I think they're cool, but I do think they are really overrepresented in a lot of video games.
Yeah, because they just rely mostly on that, and it becomes this thing where it's like, okay, but like what else is supposed to be entertaining here?
Yeah, and I think like because these are indie games, because they're smaller productions, they have the freedom to take these little risks and do things that aren't like kind of standard video game things. They're able to tell stories in varying ways and more interesting ways. And while the mechanics may not be developed and deep because they don't have like years and years of development behind them, they're still new, they're still novel, they're still an interesting way to tell a story. And that's, I think, what a lot of Annapurna games do really well, is bring these new concepts to the table, and like they allow this creativity that you don't see in bigger games, because like creativity is kind of discouraged by capitalism. Whatever, that's a bigger concept.
Yeah. And I think that's how video games should be. Just like there's so much opportunity to make something that's not realistic, and so many people just don't take advantage of that at all.
Yeah, so this game, really good. I think it sparks a lot of conversation about like what games could be, like what we could aspire for them to do, how they can be greater, how they can be different, how they can be better. And I think people aren't listening to it, because at the Game Awards, it was nominated for so many things, didn't even win Best Soundtrack. Like, that's a crime.
That is a crime. I wonder who won over it.
I'm pretty sure I found out one time and I don't remember it. But
it was stupid?
Yeah, it was stupid. Yeah, that's all we have to say about Sayonara Wild Hearts, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Really good game. Incredible even.
Highly recommend to gamers and non-gamers. Just
Highly
everyone should
recommend
play.
to any single person on earth.
Yeah.
Basically. You should play this game.
It's kid friendly. It's adult friendly. Everyone will love it.
Yeah, every single person on earth should play this game. That cannot be said about the next game on this list. Unfortunately, the next game on this list we have is The Artful Escape.
So this one I wanted to get because like the visuals are cool.
Yeah, it has a cool visual style.
I liked it a lot.
It looks good. Like,
and the first like hour of gameplay was so fun, I think.
I mean, I don't think it's so fun, but I think it's interesting. It has a neat concept, and it's fun to look at for that first hour. But then that carries on for like 4 more hours.
And it's just repetitive. Like
it's
so
repetitive. It does the same thing that other games on this list do, where it doesn't have like that deep or interesting mechanics. And most of the games on this list can get away with that because they're not that long. They don't need to have these emergent concepts and gameplay opportunities and all this and that. They don't need that because that's not the goal. And they're able to fit what they want in a smaller experience so you don't get bored. This game, no gameplay. The story, I don't really care about that much. And the music, even though it's like a very music heavy game, isn't that good.
Yeah.
It's not that good.
It's fun. It's not bad by any means, but I don't think it's like groundbreaking in any way, shape, or form. You literally only run like left and right. It's It's
I mean,
also we couldn't.
left is really generous.
That's true. You
Most of it
mostly
is
only run
holding right and
Yeah.
then jumping occasionally, and then you also can hold B
What
to
a
shred.
treat. Jumping.
You can hold B to shred, right?
Right. There's only like 5 times throughout the entire game where you can actually like play the guitar with different keys.
Yeah, you can play the guitar with different keys, but it's always like a copy this thing, but it's not like you have a time limit. Like if you forget what you have to copy, you could probably just go look up a walkthrough and then find it and then play that one specific note and move on. Like it's not that fun.
And there's no consequences if you do something wrong. Yeah, I don't know. It's an episode game. It's also Sayonara Wild Hearts for boys who do acid once and then discover empathy, I think.
Yeah, that's an opinion we developed while playing this game.
It's definitely
not
the vibe.
fun. We should describe what this game actually is.
We should maybe.
Maybe we should. So this game is about a folk singer's nephew, and everyone expects him to be another folk singer, but oops, he's a nerd who likes rock music. And then for some reason, he like does acid and sets out on a cosmic journey to discover
Does
his
he do acid?
stage persona.
I thought he just read a book.
No, I think he just reads a book, but it's more funny to say he does acid,
Yeah.
and that's like what this game is.
Well, I mean, it's basically
his
what it's
acid trip.
implying, kind of.
Yeah.
Also,
And-
Jason Schwartzman was a voice
Jason
on this.
Schwartzman is just like one random alien in this game. So yeah, you run around different alien worlds and you play the guitar, and it's not that fun, and it's not that deep.
The animation is cool. Would love to see in a game that is actually good.
Yeah, the controls for this game are also really bad.
Yeah.
Like you don't notice because of how little you have to actually do, but like to turn around takes so long. Like if you need to go back and do something, it takes so long. And then sometimes there are randomly just really precise jumps for no reason. And like you fail multiple times on it, and it's not fun to fail. It's not fun to redo a section. It's not really difficult.
It's just like, OMG, I have to watch this again.
yeah, it's not fun.
Because
It's
you're
you
just
have to do
watching
again.
it. That's all that you're doing.
Yeah, I think this is very much a skipping the dialogue to get to the gameplay, skipping the gameplay to get to the dialogue type game. Because I don't care about the dialogue. I don't care about the gameplay. I'm trying to get through both as fast as possible to get to the end.
Yeah, the story in the beginning before he does acid, as we say, was really interesting. It was a good concept for sure, but I don't know. They just went like totally off the wall random with it. I didn't like it.
Yeah, and also like the story of the game is so predictable. Like I can see the arc of this character from miles away. Like it's oh my god, you should be yourself. You shouldn't let people tell you who you're gonna be.
I don't know why, but the main guy reminds me of Albie from The White Lotus.
Yeah, he's annoying.
Yeah.
I don't.
Same vibe, like really annoying and weird.
Yeah, I agree. the one good thing I can say about this game, it has a character creator.
What is that?
Really,
Oh, yeah.
It's really fun to mess around with the character creator.
No, but you can't get to it until
you
you're
can't get
3
to it
hours
until
into the game.
3 hours into the game. Like, why? Oh my god, why? Just let me do the fun thing, please. Let me have fun.
There's
for
literally
once.
no reason.
Yeah,
You should have done that as soon as he did acid, like gone into the world.
I know.
I don't know. I don't get
You
it.
should have like gone into this world, and the person's like, "Oh, you need to get your own stage persona. You should make your own outfit," and then you make your own outfit. Like, why couldn't that be the thing? But yeah. This game's boring. It's not good. I don't like it. You shouldn't buy it. Naomi, I hate you for making me spend money on it.
Also, they wouldn't let us record it on OBS.
Oh yeah,
when
we
were
couldn't
trying to
record
play.
it, so we're probably just gonna put clips from like the trailer or like free gameplay that people
And
upload.
it looks good from the trailer, so they're literally just fooling you.
Yeah, this game is a big catfish. Don't buy it. I don't like it at all. Hater hour
Hating
over.
over. Take a deep breath. I bet you guys love that breathing into the mic. You're welcome for that. So now we're going to move on to one of the better ones, for sure.
Yeah.
Stray,
Stray.
the newest.
This game came out this year. It was at the Game Awards. I'm so glad that it was.
This year? You mean Last year.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's 2023,
Say
babe.
it's 2023, guys. Oh my god, you're not funny. So this game is about a cat who's in a little sci-fi world. They're in a city full of robots, and all the humans are dead. It's just robots. And this cat falls like deep into the city and has to find its way out so that it can get back with its cat friends. And then it also finds a little robot friend, and you go on an adventure through the robot city to find your friends. And it's really cute. It's really fun.
I could scream
It's
for
delightful.
hours about this animation. I love it so much. And the city.
It is beautiful.
Oh, and the part where you're running around in like the greenery and stuff too.
Oh my god.
Could scream
Just-
about it.
The art style of this game is once again really good. Who could have guessed Annapurna has good art styles? This game does something really fun that I like, and it just like it lets you role play a little as a cat, and it's really fun because like you can meow and you can scream, and there's
you can
nothing
scratch stuff.
Yeah, and you can scratch stuff, you can purr, you can like lay down next to something, and none of these actions accomplish anything in the game. There's nothing that they do, but you can still do them, and it's fun. It's fun to just go up to a robot and meow at it, and then the robot just looks at you for a second and then moves on. Like, that's fun. I like that. Even if there's no point to it, I'm still glad that it's there. And other games need to take notes. If there's something fun that I want to do, you should let me do it. And also the cat opens its mouth when it meows, and I'm really glad that it does that.
Yeah, it's so cute. The only critique I have for this game is that you spend too much time within like a 1 block radius, whereas like if you were to like run down the street, or like if there was a set path for you to go on and you could go like further, I guess it would be less boring at times. But I don't think it's like boring. I just think that it gets a little repetitive.
Yeah, I think the only boring part about this, or not the only boring, but like the one critique I have too is similar to that. The first part of the game, you're in like the slums of the city, and you just spend too much time there, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All the other sections of this game are really well paced. There's always something to do. You're always discovering new things. You're always going to this and that. And like, but the slums, you're looking for things, but it's hard to like look around and get around, especially because you're new to the game. And it's not like you go to people, you find clues to go to these things. You just have to find them. And so not well paced. Other sections of the game do it a lot better.
Since everything looks the same in the city, you spend a lot of time going to the same places over and over
Yeah,
again
that
because you
too.
don't realize like that it's a different place. So yeah, only critique though.
Yeah, the rest of the game fixes that because it's like either a straight path or the other open section is in like a different part of the city, and it's like you're solving like a little mystery type thing, and so you're following clues, you're going to different places, you're exploring, and you always have like a pointer to where to go. You're never just looking and trying to find like one specific thing. You're never going in and out of something. You always know what's happening. So later parts of the game fix that one issue, but other than that, like, it's really fun. You're a little cat and you're going around doing things, and you're making a bond with your little robo friend.
I actually really enjoyed the like the, what is it called when you press the buttons? I really like the controls of this game. I like the controls of this
What's
game.
it called? I like, when you press the buttons. I like when you're able to press buttons,
No, I'm saying I like the controls. I just forgot the word.
I think I enjoy pressing buttons,
Leave me alone. I forgot the word controls.
What are you saying?
I like the controls. I think they like make sense. Whereas some of the other games, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I think this game controls really well. It controls a lot better than Artful Escape, I can tell you that much.
Also, I think it's just like a mastered Annapurna game. Like it's probably their best one so far.
Yeah,
or like, I don't know. I like Sayonara better, but I think this one, I don't know. It's just better, you know what I mean? Like objectively, I think.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think Sayonara Wild Hearts is just so good.
Well, I think because like they master like the animation style that they're doing, and it's a much more complicated one than in Sayonara Wild Hearts, is what I'm saying.
I agree with that. I think
it's a more I don't know. They're both great. I just think this one is more refined than all their other games.
Yeah. I think the reason I like Sayonara Wild Hearts better is just because it's like, it's very replayable. It's really easy to just like sit down and play a couple levels and have like a really good time because it's just really good.
True. And I don't think you could say the same for Stray. I don't think I would replay it.
Yeah, it's not replayable, but it doesn't really need to be. It doesn't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then the story in this game, it actually affects me. Like, because I care. So the story in this game is you're a cat and you have a robot friend and you're trying to escape and your robot friend is trying to figure out what happened to it and like figure out its backstory and stuff. And so like you just have these two characters, the cat and the robot, who you actually get attached to. And it's not because the game tells you to. It's not because the game has like all this story, dialogue, whatever, like the Artful Escape tries. It's just because you are a cat and you inherently like cats. You like cats. And then your little robot friend you like because he's your little robot friend. He's directing you around and you're like, you know, doing stuff with him and it's fun. And so at the end of the game, when you no longer have this robot friend to like guide you and help you out along the way, like it's really sad. Like you don't have this robot friend anymore. And I think that's like way more effective than having all these characters talk about all this different stuff and fully voice acted, because I don't really care about them. These are jabs at Artful Escape. I don't like that game. This game is way better. You should play this game, not Artful Escape. That's all we have to say about these Annapurna games. Do you want to rank them real quick?
Absolutely. Number 1. Oh, wait. No, let's start from the bottom.
Number 5. The
Number
worst
5.
one.
Obviously,
the worst one that's
the
really bad
Artful
and stinky.
Escape.
Artful Escape. No one likes this game. Don't play it.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Edith Finch. Take the L. Hold it. Actually, maybe.
I think Journey.
Journey and Edith tied for me. They
Yeah.
are both L's.
Number 4 and 3 are Journey and What Remains of Edith Finch, I think. Number 2,
2.
Stray.
Agreed.
Okay, and then number 1, Sayonara Wild Hearts. Yeah, that's what we think about these Annapurna games. Annapurna is a great studio who's producing some wonderful games. They're actually giving money to indie creators so that they can make cool stuff and so that you don't have to play Call of Duty, the 42nd one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Comment below your opinions on these games. I'd love to know.
Yeah, tell us if we're good at talking about games, if we should talk about more.
I know I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
And my gameplay is also really good.
Yeah.
So let me know what you thought of my speed runs of Sayonara Wild Hearts, because I know they're good.
Yeah. That's all our opinions. If you have different opinions, if you think What Remains of Edith Finch is the deepest game in the world and the story is like super good,
we know you listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, go back to listening to Taylor Swift, but leave a comment. Engage.
Leave a comment.
Like even. Yeah, that's all we have to say. Subscribe. Do things.
Put the bell.
Bow.
If you're a baddie.
Bye.
Bye.